Hey folks, David Stewart here. They made a color out of space movie starring Nicolas Cage. I talked about this like months ago. I guess they came out with a trailer that I missed, so I watched it and I wanted to give my reactions on the trailer. It's very short, 2.5 minutes, and because Color Out of Space is one of, if not my favorite, H.P. Lovecraft stories, I wanted to pay attention to this little adaptation in this movie. So first of all, let's talk about the composition of the trailer. I think it's an effective trailer. Rather than showing you a whole bunch of plot details, they focus on the emotion, which is totally appropriate for a horror movie. They have a setup, hey, we're moving out to the country, and then they show you a bunch of images which are intended to disturb you and pique your interest and make you wonder about what the explanation is. So that, to me, is a good bit of composition. They don't show you too many details of what maybe this horrible thing is. They show you a couple glimpses of things that might be grotesque. Again, things that are designed to just disturb you, maybe just a little bit, and hopefully get you to come out to the theater and watch the movie or rent it or however you're going to end up watching it. So I do like the trailer overall because I generally don't like trailers that just reveal the whole bit of the movie. You want to kind of sell the emotion to me, especially with horror. Now let's talk about some things in relationship to the story itself. So the story itself takes place in the early 20th century, and this one is full contemporary setting. So it takes place in our version, 100 years after the original setting of the story. Now, why does this matter? Well, it matters because one of the core feelings in the original story was this isolation of this family that is experiencing all of these horrible things. They're further away from everybody. You know, they're a long either carriage ride or car ride, whatever. They're far enough away from everybody that they have to be checked on from time to time. That's a hard thing to do in contemporary America because we're very connected. You know, we see kids with computers in the preview and things like that. So we're going to be losing some of the feelings of the original story by setting it in the modern time and space that we exist in. Mainly that feeling of somebody being isolated and seeing these kind of frames of things decaying and going downhill. There is, however, a lot of things that are from the original story that I think should interest Lovecraft fans and maybe give them a little bit of hope for maybe a decent adaptation of a Lovecraft story. One of them is the fact that they're following, even though we're not following the plot exactly because of the way the story is told, but we're following the main plot pretty close. There's a meteorite that lands. They're trying to study it. Weird plants start growing. There's a color that starts to get into all of the plants. There's a voice in the well, which is part of the original story. All of these elements from that terrifying original story appear to be actually transcribed into this movie. So that's very helpful to me. Now, one of the things about the Color Out of Space is that this color that is infusing the plants and everything else, it's frequently described as something that can't be described. It's outside of normal vision range. In the movie, it looks like it's some variation of pink or purple, and that's kind of how I always imagined it. Because pink is a color, and especially the color that they chose, the hue of pink, it's something that you almost never see in nature. In fact, it's a color that I used on Voices of the Void. It's a color that it's just not natural. It feels wrong because we don't see it out in nature. And so I think that was actually probably a pretty good choice. The rest of what makes a horror movie good, though, is all execution. How you manage that pacing, how you keep the tension up, how you make the audience really want to have some sort of resolution to what's going on, to really know what's going to happen next. They didn't show any of the more grotesque parts of the story to me, and I'm wondering how they're going to actually present the story, because the way the main part of the story is told, it's one guy talking about his experiences to another of this family, a third party. In this one, it looks like it's just going to be on the family, which means the guy coming in and seeing these frames of the movie's decay, of the family's decay, and the original story is going to end up with a different execution. And to me, that's not a bad thing. because movies are not books and they're not stories. They have to have their own methods of execution to be the most effective. The main thing is I think that they're going to carry over a lot of the themes and a lot of the moods that were in the original story, so it might actually be a good adaptation. Anyway, so you can watch that trailer and let me know what you thought about it, if it actually makes you interested in a Lovecraft adaptation. Nick Cage is going to be in it. For some reason, people don't like him, but I like Nick Cage, so I think he'll actually be effective in this sort of story as well. So thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, my newest horror book, not Voices of the Void. You can get that one. That's 99 cents. Newest one is called Eyes in the Wall. It will be out Friday the 13th of December. So pre-order it, 99 cents. I'll see you guys next time.